We don't have to stay there. We can have the mic right here. And we're sitting on the benches because we're working. We're just kind of practicing stuff. I'm running that to what's going on right over. See how I go, and then I mean, I don't think it's anything. I don't know if I would love to do it, but I'm in an art festival in there the same weekend, and I used to split the two, but it was work on that, so now I'm committed to the art festival. Hi guys. Oh, is this on? We're not on yet.
the button's here. That's the highest
Oh, I see.
level.
Okay.
Half level or low level. So it's not brighter when you have something on there.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, I don't even need it just in case it comes up. Is we good to go? And then hello? 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello, everybody! It's a busy night. Yay! Thank you. Welcome, there's still a bunch of seats up here. Please make your way up. Please stop hugging in the corridors. Come on up now. There's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 seats up here if you want to help yourself. Welcome. How are we? Yeah? Nice. How are you? Nice. Okay, lovely. Yeah, almost everyone's sitting down. Billy, you're going to decide to stand up the back? Yeah. You can sit here if you like as well. I mean, if it's not too awkward. And there's still a couple of seats at the bar. This stool needs to stay here. That's the only rule. Okay. Great. Yeah, go for it. Testing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay. Okay, and we're ready. We're good to go, guys. It is the number 707th Ovail event tonight. I see Pan Campbell here, special guest tonight. Welcome. So good to see you. So happy that you travelled all the way here, and you're very welcome. We're going to look forward to Pam's reading later on. We're going to squeeze her in just for the open mic. Very special reading. And also, special guests tonight are going to be from the UCC Creative Writing course. And it's always a great night, lots of variety, really looking forward to it. Welcome, guys. Have many of you been here before, or first time? Mixed bag? Save your voice for later. It's a really good idea. Okay, so before we get to that, we're going to have our 5-word challenge, business as usual. So, and actually, before that again, I need to tell you that there's cameras rolling, and you are on camera if you are in the way of the camera. So, if you don't want to be, just find a little nook there out of sight, and that's that. So, for the 5-word challenge, anyone who's not familiar with it, our audience is going to shout out 5 words, and we're all going to use them in a poem, and then we will read them if we want to be in the chance of winning a pint and some poetry books. So that's fun. Who's going to shout out the first word?
Change.
Change.
Cunt.
Love it. What was that?
Sorry.
I think. Can we use that word? Maybe cunty. Wait, what's that?
Sorry.
We have change anyway.
In the flesh. Oh, that's sweet. We heard it so many times.
Also, our online viewers, feel free to donate a word because it's not going very well here. So far, we've got change. What was that? Repression. Maps. Butterfly. Joy. Thank you, Van. Okay, here's your recap there before you get some quiet time. We have change, repression, maps, butterfly, and joy. Good luck. Is anybody finished? Even one single person? Yes, okay, I'm gonna get the poem ball rolling because we have the first person who's ready, and there's a lot of us and a lot of readers tonight. Can I remind you all before anybody starts to read their poems that you are the what's it called? The judge. You're the judge. You're the sonic judges. So please help me out there and make noise for what you like. Our first reader will be Andre. Sorry. And the words for anybody who arrived since are change, repression, maps, butterfly, and joy. You'll hear them a lot in the next few poems.
For the 770th Avail, is that right? Did I get that right? In seventh. No one can draw you a map of change, inevitable and constant, you said, a repression of your first instinct to resist and wish for the same. Embrace it as the caterpillar accepts the joy of the chrysalis, knowing a butterfly awaits.
Thanks, Andre. As the mic is open, I'm not going to get up anymore. You can wrestle. Oh, we have Massimo online. He's going to jump in there and then you can wrestle for the mic. Hi, Massimo.
Hey, always an honor to be here. A butterfly needs no laws, no scripture, and no maps to complete their exodus from the cocoon of repression to the flight of joy. They just change. Thank you. Peace.
It's just a voluntary situation now, guys. I know there's a few poems ready to go.
Can y'all hear me?
I know.
No,
People are not gonna do that.
I'm so sorry, Master. I used to be on Zoom. It's quick, it's quick.
Massimo inspired me to go back to my first one. All right. Change maps joy, butterfly repression away.
Hello. My name is Cara. Thanks. No, it's all good. Just lean in. Thanks. Flitting like a butterfly, your eyes avert my gaze. Like a chaotic pirate map, your dotted line to X meanders through seas but never shows me where you are hidden. Your depths repressed, at least to me, the person you had chosen. And I wonder why you chose me if you didn't want me to see all of the you that was hidden. You crafted riddles for us to play without telling me the rules of the game. I only wanted to try carve joy into the air around us. I only wanted to create a safe space and a haven. You were the jinx and I was the fool for believing. But I would rather be green with belief and not be frozen. Hello.
and routine. Dusty half wing of a red and black butterfly rests peacefully on the windowsill. Sunlight fills the room, and I'm filled with joy despite the presence of the dehydrated insect. Old map of Ireland, all red, 1930. Back in this room now, with green fields swaying outside the window. How contented I am. How I would like things not to change in as many ways as I would. I feel no repression on this yellow sunshine day.
Doesn't have a title yet. Bird's eye scans undulations of land, lets his glance stream along brooks and tree lines, flutters across maps of motion that mushroom beneath surfaces of green, and butterfly on the joy of colours emerging from the dark. It is the sound of spring, announcing victory over the repression of light. Time to breathe the breeze and unfreeze.
Hi, Antonio here. I'm using here one word, Misha, in the context of me in Irish. So, Harbor of Joy. Change Misha. Maps running out of frames. A photography of the earth. Freezing that glimpse of sorrow, a magic dust on the butterfly wings. The toggle of a finger dictates the repercussion of anyone's repression. Again, a breath, again in the sky, twisting the harbor of your joy. Cheers. Thank you.
Just gonna pop online for Jeff.
Okay. During my latest therapy session, the doc said I was full of repression. You can't keep it all inside, he said. Your unresolved issues will make you dead. I said my life was devoid of joy. This has to change, he cried, my boy. Just trust me in my therapist role, and I'll create maps through your soul to find the glee you're looking for. The session, frankly, was a bore. He folded ink stains on a sheet of paper, shorter than a heartbeat. He asked, "What do you see right here?" I said, "A butterfly, so clear." "That's not a good response, my friend. This bleak neurosis has to end. Come back each day at 2 o'clock. Each session's just $2,000. Oh, fuck that shit. I slapped his face. I'll never come back to this place. And after that, I felt all right. I no longer repressed my spite. Therapy.
I went for the sixth word as well back there. Who said that the butterfly is a cunt? Those who neglect to change, repression is their foremost attitude, forgotten latitude, stumbling on the maps that they clutch onto. Burning joy, why my dear butterfly, for the maps that you held dear were only guidelines to ignite such fear. So my dear little butterfly, joy will find you on your journey between. as Eden is no more, just the joy I feel when maps guide me back to you. Thanks.
Quick and easy change. Good luck with that. Decades of repression won't suddenly metamorphosize into a golden winged butterfly, its tips tinged in delightful joy. No, instead expect a death struggle, a breaking free from bonds that caged your breath and imprisoned your bones. But you're not alone. Look for the maps within your body.
Hi, Roxanne. They say a butterfly can create a hurricane, a tiny wing move into a storm. What if we could trace the journey of one wind particle? Knowing the starting point, see the change, the evolution, its fruits, its damages. Valentine is coming, with it the usual fury of feelings: anger, joy, cuteness, depression, memories, forced happiness. What do we share? What will come out of the repression from closed hearts? On the map of feelings, I'll trace the routes slowly and carefully.
Hi, I'm Alison. The Gulf of Mexico. He drew a map of repression, all those rigid straight lines and regular angles, a line from his heart. Hateful heart is a cliche, but so is he, a cartoon patriarchy who came to power on the back of the price of groceries. No, the price of putting the poor disadvantaged against the poor disadvantaged. Change, clink, change, clink, clink. This is supposed to be a poem. There's meant to be a turning point. Bring the butterfly, bring the joy. Magic the abomination away. Watch the butterfly become the dove become the albatross. Its wings beat, sparking. Oh my God, my writing is terrible. its wings beating, sparks. A diversity song it ends on anyway.
I couldn't find a space for repression, so the poem's called Repress. I anticipate my lover is soon to be my ex. Have they changed? Or maybe I have pushed them away. Why does the word joy hold such sickly weight? And what is it, really? Surely we have to be intimate with its opposite. The maps the needle makes on an arm, let's say, when you're puking in your mouth over another butterfly metaphor. All this metamorphosis gives rise to relationship breakup. What am I really trying to say? My ex has changed, or maybe I have. People change, don't they?
Online for Clive.
Hello. Right. Now for something completely different, as they say. Did you know maps is spam backwards? Well, I'm sure if I sent this rubbish to your email, it would be classed as spam. and would be unable to navigate its way into your main email folder because the maps had been mistaken for spam and put in a sandwich. I know that makes no sense, but I'm mad and can't change. I was sensible once, but after years of repression, my madness emerged. And just like a caterpillar becoming a butterfly, I metamorphosed into a raving lunatic who shouts for no reason and writes complete fucking rubbish in 5-word challenges. If everyone else is so shit that this wins, please attach the pint to an email pronto, because I'm parched. Oh, joy. I missed out a word. Bollocks.
I have to come after that. Yeah. Oh, I do want to hear that one again. That was great. When you see the full tapestry of life, oppression of night, the remains of daylight, swelling of spring, the growing infamy of winter, suckling nectar from daisies, and hover end to end with lovers, each petal of your butterfly hide needs to be a map of joy, a philosophical epiphany, an alchemy of change, the type after a deep drink or sexual experience. The faster you flutter, the closer you are to the light. It's a way too much to think about for now, way too far into the future. For now, be the caterpillar, whose mission is just to mine holes in innocent apples and embrace the small changes.
One emotion after the other, his character was unraveling before her very eyes. A landscape, a daily spectacle for her, a wide yard for him. She was tracing a map, careful finger hovering over his mood changes. Every flower, a delicate waypoint. She could already tell what climates, showers of love, cold shoulders of disdain, sunny beams of pure happiness, and thunderous slaps had cultivated this garden. She was just a butterfly, for now, in his word, working towards a new form that would allow her into the depth dug by his repressions, until she could finally unearth his hidden joy.
A disclosure here, I'm a taxi driver, okay? Please forgive me. I thought I'd take the bus for a change. Taxis are for fools. I pictured it flitting like a butterfly across the city map, till it disappeared into urban legend. Ah, the repression of my proletariat joy. Taxis are for fools who wait for buses.
Sometimes when I look back and reflect on life and see the change of circumstances, people, maps, and my entire being, it reminds me of times where I truly felt like a caterpillar, moving through the really big world of lots of happenings. Situations that may feel like repression and breaking down whatever concept I had of myself, just when I thought I understood myself. Going into a cocoon while life around me continues to move, transition, and transform. A metamorphosis where a series of decisions have led me to a place where I must surrender, become anew. Beautiful, vibrant butterfly with limited time, fluttering where and when I can. People comment on the colours of my delicate wings. They see my joy, they see my growth, they celebrate with me. I celebrate them. Because going through such shifts, I recognise, one way or another, they've all gone or are going through their own metamorphosis. Some of us have died, egos stripped away, jobs, friends, family, love, sanity, reincarnated as yet again another caterpillar who will go through change, who will still need to cocoon, who must break down and break free, flutter through, get through life yet again. So it's essential that when we have it, when we find it, when we create it, when we tap into it, we must hold it. Joy as it truly rejuvenates.
Butterflies experience change in their transformation into themselves from caterpillar through chrysalis and afterwards with procreation and death. Butterflies are sensitive to magnetic fields, to temperature, sunlight, and the ultraviolet markings of flowers they like to frequent. Their flutters can provide us map makers with maps. They live the wandering contours of their own. Butterflies can be repressed by paw or hand or glass or beak or other physical limits, if this is repression, but I don't know if they know what repression is. Are they repressed? Butterflies bring us joy with their color and flight. They bring joy to the kitten who tears them to pieces. They bring joy to the swallow who swallows them on the wing. They bring joy to other butterflies who they fuck in the sunlight. Butterflies have a kind of insect cunt. They tip abdomens.
Hard now to say all change is good change. Hard to validate the glorification of the new when the new is as old as it is new. If there was a prevailing wind from repression to liberation, do we accept re-repression? All the more sinister by the conscious act, knowing of its pain and its trauma and doing it anyway. Not doing it anyway, doing it especially because of the pain and the trauma. Must we always roll through time as a horse on a carousel, the impression of moving forward deceiving? Progress as a more detailed map, the backward as the land represented by this dot. The land as the land is as the wind blows through it. Does the butterfly remember the struggles of crawling? Does a caterpillar know the joy of flight?
My name is Catherine. call this Happy New Year. Repression of self. Take your medicine. Starve as atonement. Consult astrological maps to see if Saturn is in Pisces. If you don't change, nothing will change. And so, my cabbage patch heart, eat your caterpillar self to butterfly. Joy is now. Joy is 2025.
I didn't get inspiration, no, as you'll soon discover. Power, a powerful word until it changes with a bang and disappears. Storm Owen, in his joyful journey amongst us, has decided he will blow hither and thither, no map. His delight as our lights went out. Shock and slowly depression set in, an easy intruder in darkness. But repression never kept a good woman down. With a spluttering candle, I made my way over ruts and bumps to the old barn, swept aside a curtain of cobwebs, butterflies still in their cocoons as they entangled in my hair. Hauled out the primus, the tilly lamp, the lantern in the corner. We pumped up the primus and its comforting azure colours rose up to boil the kettle. Tomorrow, a stew. The tilly lamp cast cheerful shadows over the walls. With the smell of turf smoke from the fire, slowly, power crept through our veins.
No, I sense a stillness in the room. There's always one more though, is there? Ah, there is. Go on. Who's on the fence? Yeah! Every time.
The window was closing, but we'll see. Okay. Change the route on your creased map and follow the winged way of butterflies instead. Stop your search for dead-ended repression, fling your arms out the passenger window, and keep an eye out for license plates that spell out JOY.
Is there another on the fence? I don't know. Well, if there is, it's okay. If there is someone else, it's okay. It's not okay, it's over, it's done, you lost your chance. Forget it. Come back next month. Okay, this is very difficult, lads. Very, very difficult. There was 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, 22 of you now. It's just a really hard job, I don't know. There was a lot of comical ones that I thought got a really good applause, as they usually do, and they were great. And maybe one of those should win. But there's also one that I thought was really, really lovely. And it was kind of earlier on as well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give it to Roisin Leggett-Bowen.
I'm very honoured seeing as I'm really honoured. Thanks so much. And I'm so sorry about the butterfly metaphors. That was the speaker's voice as opposed to. So it's called Repress. And it's lovely to be here this evening. And my first reading with Ovale was actually with UCC, myself and Mar, UCC MA reading with Ovale. And it was hybrid totally because it was during COVID. And how lucky were we? And then didn't we trot here one night a few years ago and welcomed in to this lovely nest of nourishing kindness and creativity. Thank you, Paul, and thank you everybody else involved. So it's mad, I'm really happy. Thanks. Repress. I anticipate my lover is soon to be my ex. Have they changed, or maybe I have pushed them away? Why does the word joy hold such sickly weight? And what is it really? Surely we have to be intimate with its opposite. The maps the needle makes on an arm, let's say, when you're puking in your mouth over another butterfly metaphor. All this metamorphosis gives rise to relationship breakup. What am I really trying to say? My ex has changed, or maybe I have. People change, don't they?
Thank you so much. Roisin, congratulations. Your books are here and your drink is at the bar. So guys, we're going to take a quick break, right? But you have to come back after the break. Do what you need to do. We have important announcements. You need to find a better seat for yourself. If you're going to be here for the rest of the night, you got to get here early for that. See you in 10 minutes. I forgot to say, if you want to be on the open mic, I want to leave the list up here. Thank you.
I was just fully in work mode, you know.
Yeah, but it's nice. In those kind of.
How are you?
What's the crack?
Finally moved out from my room, but now I'm trying to
moving. That sounds really stressful.
It is.
Yeah.
Renting the old room.
That must be surreal. Where are you moving to?
Oh, I moved back to the other. I moved in with my girlfriend, so I literally just moved back to there.
Are you in the same room or in the same apartment?
We are in the same room.
Congratulations, man. Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm happy too. It's a
It is unbelievable. When did you guys? She's not. Unless she's doing it open No, but good guess. That's great. I feel like I might damper Pensio's mood because I'm thinking of my favorite race song, which I think is a little bit sad, but yes, I'm doing What? Oh, did she? Maybe she went to the bathroom.
Who's this one? This is mine. She's on my board. I'll take it over. Don't mind her. Oh, you're planning to rent another house? Get find someone else to take I don't live in Cork City.
What did you get? Oh, okay, fine.
Put the books on here.
Okay, everybody, welcome back. Settle down. Did you have a nice break? What did you do? What did you do on your break? Hugs. Nice. Okay, guys, we're going to resume as soon as I know it's packed in here. If you can find a way to get comfortable, just lean on whoever's next to you. Just lean on them. Just lie down. Just lie down. And I heard people talking about sitting on the floor. I mean, you're welcome to if it's comfortable for you. Okay. Okay, guys, so before I introduce our multiple... Oh, thank you, Andres. That's very good. Before Andres, Antonio shushes you again. So we have a few announcements as usual before I introduce our guests for the night. And before announcements, I just want to mention that between today and our last event, we had a huge loss in our poetry community. Margaret Creedon O'Shea passed away after a very, very long time of contributing, making everybody smile without failure every time she reached the mic, and she was just an absolute blessing to all of us. We're very lucky to have her partner Bobby here tonight, who would like to say a few words.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Paul. First of all, I'd like to say I'm not Margaret. I don't have her ability to talk or to entertain or do any of those things that she did so well here. But I said I'd come in tonight, it being the first opportunity after Margaret's passing, to say a sincere thank you to all those that were able to come to the funeral, all those that sent sympathy cards, RIPs, or condolences on RIP, mass cards, all the good wishes, and so many of you came and we were so grateful. Margaret was a particular person that came here to Ovale for something like 12 years approximately, maybe a bit more, and in all that time became, I think, more creative as the years went by. This unique event that happens here, the 5-word challenge, she took to that like a duck to water and created very imaginative poems on every occasion, I think. Was published, I think, every year in the Ovale publication, and I used to enjoy that myself. She also sketched people that when she had her piece spoken or her poem said or whatever, she would sketch other people then while they were speaking at the mic, and I think some of those sketches, they were so quick, so accurate, and so informative. And I see Sue Blue there is showing me a publication which I have a copy of at home, and she painted the cover of that. But she has so many things, and I don't want to say too much more, only to express my sincere gratitude to Ovale for keeping Margaret a happy person for the last 12 years of her life. It made her so creative. She had so many friends here, and I think it extended her life by years. She got treated, obviously, in Levans and all that, but nothing stirred her imagination or perked her up than an Ovale night. And I'm so incredibly thankful to every one of you. there's many people here that I remember from years ago. I don't see some of the faces, but there are many more people that impressed her so much, and she had time for everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Bobby. Yeah, Max, what can we say? She's a legend, total legend. There's a kind of another announcement I want to wedge into this. Sorry, there's so much to get through. But there's been different announcements about Avail coming to a close in April after 18 perfect years. I can officially announce today that there will be a continuation, and really, lads, you won't notice a thing. You can come back in May and in June and in July and in August, and we'll be here. It'll just be a few tweaks, like Paul will just be sitting down the back instead, and a couple other things might be tweaked, but that's it really. So yeah, so I just want us to, for obviously it was such a, as Bobby said, it might have added years to Margaret's life, and it's so important to many of us here, and I know it's important for you all to know that it will continue as well, so we're making that happen. And Avail aims to maintain a safe space for riders and all attendees. We subscribe to the Arts Council's Equality, Human Rights and Diversity Policy. We ask participants to report any offensive behaviour to Avail. Next announcement, the 5-word challenge international, or the 5-word international poetry competition results will be later announced this month. Please send any 5-word challenge poems written since April 2024 to submissions@avail.ie to be considered for possible inclusion in the 5 Words Anthology. And you'll see I have a bunch of these. You're going to see me passing them to our guest readers tonight as a gift, but these are also you can kind of see Mags's drawings illustrated in almost every one of them now, so they're beautiful documents. So if you want to be part of that, email into submissions@avail.ie. Please be aware that this event is being recorded and will be available to revisit as an MP3 and podcast and on video via Avail's website, social media and Vimeo channels. For our next event on Monday the 10th of March, Avail's guests are Emily Davis Fletcher via Zoom and James Harper in person. Finally, the old horse's head has a jar beneath it with the donations box. This is a free event. They've always been, all 707 of them so far. So we really appreciate any donations. We're going to start to circulate that jar around the room, just like Mass, except, it'll go to better causes. And I can't believe I said that on camera. And thank you to everyone who's kindly offered donations so far. Can we get that out? And it's my birthday, so thanks for coming to my charity. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Campbell. Happy birthday to you. Thank you so much. That was lovely. Okay, so typically somebody from UCC comes and announces the guest here tonight. Unfortunately, they were sick and couldn't be here tonight, so I'm going to do my best to introduce you individually as you come. So first up, we have James Carroll. He's a 22-year-old Cork native, currently studying creative writing, MA in UCC. He's previously published poems and articles in Motley UCC magazine. His favourite poet is Sylvia Plath, whom he takes great inspiration from. This event will be his first time reading his work in public. Welcome, James Carroll.
Thank you. Thanks thanks so much. We're so happy to be here tonight, Laura. Sorry. Like a pure Gen Z, I'm going to read my poetry off my phone. So I have 3 poems for you tonight, which are all kind of interlinked and about the same situation that I grow angrier and angrier about as it goes on. So this is the porch. I stand on the carpet that shields my bare feet from ice-cold tiles lying beneath me. I'm between 2 locked doors, the keys to both in my hand. I know where each belong, but my weak fingers have no movement intended. Behind one, I feel you watching me through the peephole, the way you have always looked at me until now. Your strong, warm hands press against the dusty wood, leaving a smudge on your tips when you inevitably pull away. Will we ever learn? Behind this door, uncertainty is your accomplice. If I were to open it, I do not know if you would maim or embrace me, nor do I know which I would prefer. A wall of glass acts as our second barrier. Air is stolen from my lungs by your predictably unexpected presence. No movement occurs. I fear you in the way a truck fears a fragile deer. Specks of you condense on the glass, your eyes like a lighthouse. The waves in them choppy, as though the moon has abandoned them. They call me home. You write your name in the condensation, add in your own surname, erasing the half of me I want to forget, and slotting yourself into me. Keys rattle, hurrying me for an answer. Behind me, your footsteps speak to me, first in shouts, then in a whisper, and then nothing at all. Before I can change the prophecy, your mirage dissipates behind the glass, into the midnight sky, up to the heavens to join the other prayers that I've made on my knees. I stand in the porch and I wait until the time comes for me to crawl out the window. This next poem is called Your Lover's Type. I like short and brunette. You are short and brunette, but you are just not a girl. They need to be funny. He almost crashed from laughing earlier, but you are just not a girl. They should be able to drive. You got your license 2 years before him. You are just not a girl. I want to pick her up. He picked you up this morning, but you are just not a girl. I really want to love someone. He loves you more than anyone, but you are just not a girl. If your brain was in her body, I'd be the happiest man on earth, but I am not that lucky. My last poem is called Late Night Drive, Location Off. The first 2 lines of this poem are actually from a Sylvia Plath poem, which I can't actually remember the name of because I'm too nervous. You come in late, wiping your lips, ridding the taste of deceit from your immature mouth that speaks in mindless riddles. You turn your location back on. Does anyone care enough to notice, you wonder? Knowing the answer as you begin to strip every piece of clothing tossed in the wash. She drove the first time, probably better than me. It's been years since I took a lesson, merely weeks for her. A younger and cleaner version, an echo. She sits in my old position, the same thoughts racing. Minds forgetting logic, hands ripping at clothes, and 2 bodies betraying 1 heart. I hate this girl, not because of any of this, because no matter how perfect I am, I'm incomparable to her, on a scientific level if nothing else. As you boil your skin under the water, you know this is not about me or her. This is about you.
Thank you so much. That was James Carroll. Next up, I'm going to announce John O'Boyle. Is he here? Yeah, down the back. So slowly start making your way up, and I'll read your introduction. So John O'Boyle is a Cork-based writer, currently enrolled in the MA in Creative Writing at UCC. His poetry explores the dialectical between personhood and mythos. He is published in the Summit Avenue Review and the University of Minnesota's Women's Centre. Welcome, John O'Boyle.
All right, I have a couple tonight. I'm gonna try to not read all of them. I apologize too, I have an ear infection. I don't know how loud I'm being, so we will see. Let's see. We will start with this one. It's called The Adverbial River. The adverbial river, Lee splits itself in two like a diaspora. In North Hills we gaze down upon the city, never to be breached by its swelling. On the south bank a field mouse steals bread from two perplexed ravens, and I witness, audacity juxtaposed with the transcendent. Somewhere between, I ask a real lock boy where the river ends and sea begins, wondering if salinity draws definite lines between bends and harbors. And he looks at me like I've traded feathers for whiskers and a tail, because what really matters is just that the water is coming, and he reckons always has been. Something unspoken about where it goes, and assumed about how it arrives there. This one is called Where the Poem Ends and You Begin. This one's actually a little bit older. I chose to read it because we had a conversation today in class about pulling knots through hair. And I thought of this poem. I performed it once at Marines. I'm going to do it again now. Where the poem ends and you begin, to push back against the rolling tide, fisticuffs with each phase of the moon, tasting death like blood-cracked knuckles, bones and flesh meeting ache and scar, a brazen grunt awakening beside me, the mist of a brawl hanging on your lips. This is not how you were supposed to taste. For must we still kiss in the low light of the morning, in the film grain of the bathroom, after I've washed away your sweat with my foot atop the drain, as the basin fills with steam and you long to return, and you pound on the door, and you call my name, and the lock winds, and the frame distends from the wall, and how I wanted to feel each body then, to bear the brunt of each of your blows, for you to walk back down to the river to find me, adrift from the witty turns of your similes, where I appear assiduous like a sailor of yore, one hand drawing currents into brackish waters, the other pulling knots through the braids of my hair. Thank you. I'm going to do two shorter ones and one a little bit longer one. We'll start with a shorter one here. This one's called When the Grapes Begin to Taste of Blood. We'll leave the bottle of Carmenere uncovered overnight. Fermenting our reverie, we have lost the cork, or like sap it camouflages itself in unfinished grain, the oaken table reckoning. Next morning I carry your tannin body from our bedroom hostile to hangover eyes. I could swing you about the kitchen, let your feet kick up, knock over the wine, disdain the wood at long last. But instead we sit in silence, warming our hands on cracked porcelain, staring at the wretched olive tint between us as fluid the color of sewage escapes our palms. I turn away in search of a towel from the stench of rust in the air. Thank you. Long one into a short one here. The first one is called Winter 98. I was born in 98. That's where that comes from. The second one is called Brack, which is the Irish word for both speckled and trout. This is going to roll into the other one. We'll see how that works. Winter 98. I sometimes imagine it was the last year the river froze over, my parents trudging out along its dunes, bundled, hopeful, a month until Valentine's. I wonder if the ice was translucent still, if the cold was yet novel, if they could follow the cattails below, laugh at the two fishes woven between. If I was on their minds then, I must have been, an evangelist to be raised real in hand, and a match, and a contoured blade. But I am not the snow or sleet, the freezing rain made beautiful. I am not the cracking of sheets, the sting of sand awaiting beneath. I am not the emboldened tires, the way exhaust clings to a coat. I am not the turning into a skid, the pebbles caught between frost-bit tread. I am not the banks plowed into mountains, the streaks of piss and sod in the drive. I am not the humble right-hand man, the exhale of a chalice filling another. I am not the ashes of the Yule log in the stove. I am not the creak in the floorboards that summer, the rise of voices and my swelling of the womb. I was never the leather pressed between two hands, not my mother or my father, for I resolve myself ancient, like the tides, rolling, 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 Brack. We kept him in in a pond outside the big house, where he could swim amongst swollen ankles and nibble at the golden reeds. And when the floods came and swept that house away, he eloped by coast to the river, and he waits there now. Yes, he is alive. He is alive. Thank you.
Oh, yes. Could you pass that down to John, who just read, please? Thank you. Make sure he gets it. Thank you. That was John O'Boyle. And next, where's Leah? Is it Leah? I just want to make sure I get your name right. Is it Sohotra? So it's fine or it's right? Okay. Next up we have Leah Sohotra, which she said is fine. Leah is also a songwriter whose singles have aired on RTE and BBC. She's received reviews from Hot Press and Prague magazine. She's obviously in UCC's programme, and she's also had a short story published in Ovale's 2019 anthology called A Journey Called Home. So welcome, Leah Sohotra.
So I didn't have a lot of new stuff I did get to share with Ovale for the winter warmer. It was so nice. And I don't know, I think I'd rather read this. I don't know. I'm gonna do something different actually. I was wanting to share a melody with you that kind of pulled me out of January. It was pretty rough for me. So I'm nervous. I know most of you. Wonderful. It's such a privilege to be here. Ego like a dirty magazine. Stun them, but you leave their fingers clean. Doesn't matter where your armor goes. Anger's just desire in different clothes. Feeling helpless in the house with mom. Makes a girl a sniper level shot. Mother, did you see I played my part? Mother, like a muzzle on a heart. Did you know devotion is divine? Burying her blood inside of mine. Winter came, it took its time, ice in the eyes and heat inside, and the winds were high, and our heads bowed low, all in repent for wanting so. Let the passions wither in my hand, all temptation fall to my command. Mother, did you see me shun the world? Hungry like a searchlight on a girl. Did you know devotion is divine? Carrying her blood inside of mine. Winter came, it took its time, ice in the eyes and heat inside, and the winds were high, and our heads bowed low, all in repent for wanting so. Couldn't stop, I did a lot. Guess what woke the colder that it got? Dark and small inside its chrysalis. Something opens gentle as a fist. 16 eyes, its gaze immaculate. God, don't let her see any of this. I'll tell you what. Thank you. I'm so bad at this. Did I give you one? I'm so sorry. Thank you. Good job passing it back. It is much quicker, isn't it now? Okay, thank you so much. Wow, Lee Socha, that was beautiful. Next up, I'm going to announce a poet who's from California living in Cove. Her name is Lucy Pereira. She has poems published in the Hellebore and the Honey Literary, among others, and her debut chapbook, From Here to the Ocean, is forthcoming from Finishing Line Press. Welcome, Lucia Pereira.
Hi everyone. Thank you all so much for being here. Being in Cork and getting to write here has been such a dream, and being among these amazing, talented writers has been so inspiring. So I'm very happy to share some work with you today. I've got 4 poems. This first one is called High Tide. The river is moving like it has some place to be. The same current runs through me, veins coursing with urgency, out to open seas. A woman on the street wears a jacket as pink as a scream, closes her eyes for 1 beat, 2, 3. Rain beads in her lashes, sticky like sugar. She keeps walking, a screech of neon. I am seeking my own destination, somewhere that will carry me in its lulls, rock me gently in its ebbs and flows. An ecosystem where all things are born, where creatures can live without eyes, mouths, brains, all those complicated trappings of life above the surface. Glowing ethereal with tentacled calm, gelatinous bodies pulse 1, 2, 3, a heartbeat without a heart. Thank you. This next one, agreed, January was a very long month, so this poem is called January. I begin a new year deep in the belly of something, missing my cue to emerge. Finally, chin tucked low in my coat, I find myself by the water, glimpse an otter twisting in the river, heralded by 100 gulls. She snaps at the air, somersaults and submerges. I scan myself for that fluid ease, find aches and pangs in its place. Back in California, the fire gobbles mansions, throttles the sky. Here, trees rumble forth from the hills and my breath shimmers. Frost descends. Stillness racks each crevice of my body, settles into the joints. In the eve of this decade, the liquid of who I am turns viscous, begins to set in its mold. The mattress remembers my shape now, our bed the only warm place in this house. You look at me and I put my shirt back on, feeling more naked than ever. As hard as I try, I am no furnace. This is all I will ever have to offer. I'm gonna do just a couple more. This next one actually was just published online in Stanchion Magazine, so you can check it out there. Thank you. It's called Everyone's Waiting. And I couldn't tell you whether they're in the clouds or the flames or the spindly veins of a leaf. Across the dimly lit room, you ask, if there is a heaven, do you think we'll be there together? And I understand why you take offense at my lack of confident response. Because of course no paradise would separate us, but somehow I can't imagine heaven in the way that you mean heaven. White picket fences in the sky and flying babies and everyone's dead childhood dogs eager for a reunion. In my head, it's like this: your hand on my knee while you're driving, reaching over the gear shift, squinting against the glare, and the sea opens below us, dizzying and unfathomable. It's like we're a pair of trees touching limbs in a vast canopy, and we're a hymn sung by a pod of whales, and we're a fungus whose mycelium threads the breadth of a forest, and we're beads of condensation on the same foggy window. It's like you're a punchline and I'm the laugh, I'm the inhale and you're the exhale. It's like there's a road that keeps going and a playlist with no skips, and we never wonder if we're there yet, and when we get there, it's everything. Thank you. One last one. This is an older poem, but it is the last poem in my chapbook, which is coming out in October. It's called From Here to the Ocean, so I'm very excited for that. It's called Poem for the Walk Home. I'm trying so hard to be alive to everything. The days gape open, wide-mouthed. I tuck a few small truths in my pockets like pennies as quicksilver seconds slip over each other in rivulets. Early evening, the deer eat apple branches from my outstretched hands. Day breaks and recognizes me. Late morning, my chest is full of broken windows. In the surface of each passing airplane, I look for my own face. I am searching for something diamond to break my teeth on. Tonight, I will grin right back at the Cheshire Cat moon, reach toward tenderness, and wish that my palms could soak up this suffering. Sometimes it feels neon, and sometimes it doesn't. Even now, the universe never tells me no. Even still, I keep asking. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow, thank you. That was Lucy Pereira. Can I ask you, Lucy, did you choose to live in Cove for any poetic or water-related reasons, or was it coincidental? It was fate. Okay, we love that's poetic. Yeah, that works. Okay, next up, I'm going to announce or introduce Jessica and Rose, and Jessica was awarded National Student Media Award as a Feature Writer of the Year, Pop Culture and Arts 2022. She is a contributing journalist for Hot Press magazine. She was recently awarded the Miriam Cotter Award. Her published poetry is included in Green Carnation's anthology, Drawn to the Light Press issue 5, Cork Pride magazine 24, and the Hide and Seek anthology. Welcome, Jessica and Rose.
Hello. I've really wanted to read here for all my life, so it's really cool. Okay. I think I'm going to start maybe a little bit slower with something. Sorry. Perfect. Thank you. This is a sequence poem I wrote last semester, and one of my classmates told me that I seem to have an obsession with babies. And I think now it makes sense because it was a bit of a rebirth phase. So this is the sequence, and it's called Teething. 1. I wake to find the softness of my hands encircling the tenderness of my bloated stomach, still mouthing out announcements that I would be having a baby girl, premature. Her skin would be rosy crayon pink. Peeling off remnants of starched sleep from the inherited cracks forming around my eyes, I wonder how much of myself is really in my control. If a mere period can cause my subconscious to brood for a baby, feathers soft in my arms, dimpling like angel delight pudding, gazing at me with my eyes, my mother's eyes, my grandmother's eyes, my great-grandmother's eyes that have seen a world reshaped, morphed easy as clay. 2. Whilst visiting the hospital, I am entrusted with my mother's wine-soaked, wine-coloured leather jacket that an ex bought her when she turned 22. My grandmother had 2 babies by 22. I look at myself borrowing the age they both outgrew, like how a child snoops in the adult section of the library. 2 babies by my age, only a baby herself. Babies seemingly withstand countless dramatic flounces to the ground whilst being kneecapless of all things. Jelly-legged and dough-brained, babies are primarily absorbent sponges. What would my sponge take from me? Might they poach the passion from me through their vampiric gums? With the acidity of my botched milk pass on to them what makes me alien? Would I ever get back what they took from me? Would my child forgive me for what I gave to them unwittingly? My friend in the hospital cries when she sees me. She's high on a cocktail of pain medication and reeling from the realization that the human body can be switched off and made lifeless so easily. Missing the boobs she consented to giving up and had dreamt about giving up since we were 14-year-old girls together. I bring her a string of cut-out memes I had saved from that time, and she gasps, "I remember," and I feel older than I ever have. 3. The moment is both comical and melodramatic, but it's poignant, and it's a necessary realization that I am no longer the scared child that I was, who was perceived of being perceived as anything other than not an existent perfect. All of us crammed into the claustrophobia of a convent school, only beginning to learn who we were once released from that compression. We were just girls, still partially milk-toothed, living within the shadow of every girl that had come before us, underneath the expectations of hovering mothers and Catholic grandmothers and overachieving sisters, and us just wanting to be enough, trying to meet every one of life's demands, to fill the void they couldn't fill, to live the life they couldn't live. Thank you. Okay, a little bit of context for this one. A tomamond, I found, is a lake burst. So it's when the ground kind of gives way to water and creates lakes, and medieval Irish poets used to write a particular brand of poetry about them. So this is called Tomamond for Autistic Shutdown. I am no bridge, veins and tributaries finally drying up, my body lies heavy as a lake. I am up to my neck in stagnant waters, simultaneously at rest and in shell shock, fairy shrimp darting between the deftly floating ropes of my hair, looking to hoard their cysts of certain life in the follicles, murmuring encouragement, we shall both wake again. Every slight noise sends electric ripples ricocheting right down to the belly of the beast being me, my face swilling in and out of sight while the water level wavers. I am lying flat, my limbs separating like cattail reeds in resignation. This is not certain death. It's just another Wednesday, feeling my bones sizzling, dissolving. Suddenly they are laying me into the damp earth again, 6 feet freshly dug, perhaps hoping that this time my body submits to the soil, that the peat will reclaim its anomaly, another nameless bog body, another unidentifiable witch doing her nation's duty. My country's history is built on buried secrets, mass graves, unwilling syringes bringing silence. What is one more undiscovered, unfathomable female generation? I am no bridge, but my presence can stop the natural current. Unspeaking, I succumb to the fatigue, letting body and brain unearth their convergence. This lethargic drowning requires patience, an understanding humans do not possess. Soon Sharon is by my side, nodding at me, tilting his paddy cap in greeting. He knows not to pry my clenched teeth apart in search of €1 for his time, his kindness, but allows some wet memories to be unwillingly washed from me, his merciful baptism corked fresh from the sticks. He has experienced my sedentary moments before and knows I am far from dead. This sinking paralysis, this amnesia, are in fact what allows me to live. So rest and feel no guilt. Forget and feel no pain. Awaken and rebuild. Thank you. This is kind of an angry one, but I feel like it's a safe space, so it's okay. Yeah, unmasking is a lot. I wrote this at a time where I was frustrated because it's kind of like the 5 stages of grief, but they're recycled over and over again. So here I get a little bit angry. It's called Pendulum. How can I give myself away when even I can't decipher the pieces of myself I'm holding? Hunks of red, raw epidermis spliced open, cauterized wires spitting sparks to light up the wreckage. I hold myself, but I don't know who I am holding. So I let other people try to define it, to try me, to have a taste. They take more than just a bite and give mixed reviews. Some liked the stiffness of the silent night. Another said its kiss was mediocre. One girl spat my eye out, its blood vessels bulging from the impact of her incisors, tearfully claiming she could still feel it staring at the wrong moment underneath her tongue. I don't know who the child underneath this carnage was. Is she the echo I hear late at night? Her haunting call, pleading with me to take me home. We are there already, I say, we never left. Wasn't my fault? Could I have stopped it? The fear rattles around like the can on a honeymoon car, following my grief, tailing me through campus, slipping in between photo albums and the crack in the shower door. Was my fault for stifling her, the child I once was, even when I am not the one who forced a rubber mask over her head and told her to breathe as quietly as the rest of the other kids while she was suffocating, the words, "Don't you want to be good," curdling in her ears. I kept my head down at an angle to allow a precious chink of air to seep through the wrinkled seal, the occasional puff of teenage cortisol acting as my vital vein, connecting to me to what my teachers called the real world, where I was told I would not survive without my rubbery prison. I bore the strain of a masked identity for so long that when I accidentally shifted the disguise ever so slightly, the world swooped with the debilitating nausea of a fairground ride, the resident clown on his break dragging on a cigarette, grinning at me, his jaundiced, yellowing eyes lit up as a demonic click-clack clock as the world ended. Now you were in the real world, breathing in this unfiltered nonsense and the stench of burning rubber, my mask blistering skin while disintegrating over my eyes. I've forgotten long ago that I was even wearing it. Forgotten what my breath really looked like uninhibited as I tore it off to moan in chemical disbelief at the time I had lost. Hot, angry wretches wheezing themselves out of me like smog and instantaneous pollution of the natural order. My incoherent howls ricochet, give her back, give me back. Reality spins and unwinds like I've been strapped to the waltzers. I'm screaming my throat raw as if I might find more suppressed secrets under layers of plugged tissue, another corked odyssey. I don't know who in particular I'm asking because I think that the whole fucking damn world might be responsible. Once the mask is fully turned to ash, I make snow angels in the aftermath, surprised to see I can still leave a dent, or that I still possess a body, any solid form at all. My true reflection trapped, along with all the other masked little girls as swing portraits, burning into invisible oblivion within the warped funhouse mirrors. Thank you. This is just one more and it's happier, I promise. Okay, it's called Observer. There was someone waiting for me out in the dark. My vision blanketed with crushed deep blue velvet, I searched for a reason to believe that I would find a way out from underneath the smothering sheets. Skin piped thick with salt, sunken eyes beneath that sunken sky, the ebbs of the needlepoint thin, scorches of light, dimmed with every day I spent wading through the polarizing heaviness. I ached to succumb to the stiff facade of the sleep it offered, deterred only by the cannonball mattress pea of hope, digging into my subconscious, taunting me with whispers of not yet, drifting her hand hypnotically over the velvet. At each time I reached to be held, to be lifted, she pulled away, the folds in the sheet smiling, not yet, and hope killed lights. I stayed to watch the lights flicker back on, somehow knowing that they would. Now out of that perpetual midnight, I continued to find chalky answers etched across my path, reassured by my realization that hope's hand was mine. Thank you.
Wow. Jessica, yeah, I know you wanted to do this for a while, but you were so ready to do it. You were so ready for it. That was gorgeous. No, not at all. It's just, do you know what? It's the fucking open mic list. It's them. It's them. It's actually, I'm only joking. So I'm going to, our penultimate guest reader is Andy McNamara. Andy's right here. Hi, Andy. So Andy's writings appeared in The Echo, Dolly Boo, Cork Words 3, as well as online in Sledgehammer Lit magazine and Marks Burns radio show. She self-published her first collection of poetry, Generously Curved, in 2023, and is currently doing the MA Creative Writing in UCC. Welcome, Andy McNamara.
Thank you. I just have the one poem tonight, and I crawled out of my sick bed to be here tonight because I wouldn't have missed it for the world. So this is quite aptly titled, I think. The Porcelain Essay, after Anne Carson and one or two others. My heart is in the toilet, trying desperately not to sob into the silence, as the girl 3 stalls over tries equally hard not to fart. She came in just after me. Neither of us has made a sound since the dual rustling descent of denim and cotton. We are 2 strangers trapped together, bound by propriety and constraint, desperately trying to outweight the other. Judging by the unacknowledged air of tension, both are rapidly approaching critical mass. Not gonna lie, it's getting awkward. Something's gotta give. 5 minutes earlier, I had been sitting in class listening to a discussion on Anne Carson pondering Emily Bronte and the Glass Essay. 2 literary goddesses tramping about the countryside a century apart, moodily glaring out through cottage windows over the wild expanse of their loverless futures. The next thing I know, I'm in here. Bloody typical. Anne gets Emily, the moors, and fresh air, and I get some Gen Z undergrad, the bogs, and a faint miasmic afterglow of 1,000 hallowed backsides. A former lover once bought me a book of Anne's, inscribing it with, for the poet, the woman, the dreamer, setting out on her journey. I thought this was everything. So did the other 2 women he sent it to. Back in the bathroom. I suppose she could also be trying not to howl some unknown mystery grief of her own into the pine-scented void, but I dismiss this as unlikely. The way the chances of 2 random terrorists boarding the same plane are unlikely. Anyway, I've seen her before. She's doing applied economics or business studies, something financy. No, this is my life-defining moment. And some chit of a girl with her ridiculous Puritan attitude towards intestinal disfortitude is fucking it all up. All I want is a dignified little weep in this reasonably clean shitter. Is that really too much to ask? Anne had her heart crushed by love and so turned to Emily. The man I considered for about 6 years to be my soulmate once told me through a haze of blue smoke that love was for idiots who watch Oprah. If I'd ever had my heart crushed like he had by the woman before me, I'd understand. I turned to the grainy 2-ply in the wall dispenser. We regard each other blankly. Tears fall like tiny water-filled condoms into my lap. But without the catharsis of heaving and gulping, it's all just slow drip dehydration. And after all, I am a mother. Sacrifice is my middle name. So I do what I've done a million times before. I pull myself up, dry myself off at both ends, and I flush. The air of relief from the far stall is palpable. Trudging back to class, I am left feeling cheated and moist, frustrated, like I've just had sex on the back seat of a Seicento, with a man who drives a Seicento. Sinking into my seat, I'm hit with a sort of post-lavatorial languor, and so take a minute to reassess my fragile state. My heart is broken, yet still beats firm and resolute. Enough, it cries, enough now of weeping and grieving in bathroom stalls. Maybe, it suggests, you are worth more, like a changing room in Marks and Spencer's, or just higher standards in general. And like that, the storm within me passes. The air feels fresh and clean once more. Through the classroom window, I watch as my former stallmate bounces past on her way back to class. The spring in her step is infectious, and a feeling like hope rises once again within my breast. My heart is broken, but my spirit is strong. And so, until the next time, Seicento man, pass by.
We're glad you came out, Andy, tonight. Thanks. Thanks for that. Brilliant. I'm going to introduce now our final reader from the MA Creative Writing course in UCC. I'm going to ask you for the pronunciation again. Is it where is Angelia?
Behind
Angelia Is it
D'Souza.
D'Souza. Okay, Angelia D'Souza. Now I have a problem with your bio. It says is from Dublin, California.
You can change it to Cork, California.
We've claimed her. She's from Cork, California. She's sitting behind me, and she is doing a creative writing at UC. She's a recent graduate of Creighton University with a BA in Cultural Anthropology and English. Her poetry and fiction have been published in volume 13 of Mary Baldwin University's Outrageous Fortune literary magazine. Give it up for Angelia D'Souza.
Literally, how the fuck does one follow up after the glass porcelain essay? Oh my god, I can't. Okay, I'm gonna read two poems. First one is called "Watching," little love letter to Cork. I'm from Cork, California. Yeah. Don't claim Dublin. Okay, watching. Bluebird threaded scarf tasseling behind the accordion neck. Cherry plumed smoke crisps, swells, disperses from chapped lips. Sudden dawn gull surge above the lee. Wine sloshed wandering onto courthouse steps. Beer belly bounce to the bus stop. Fishing line leashed greyhound foxtrots in garish fashion. Small hours gull swarm above the lock. Apple-cheeked toddler ambles, tumbles, is whisked onto hips. Mini-skirted girls huddle around wood-fired pizza. Ear-budded businessmen bundle into black backpacks. Puffer-coated people coast by coffee-shopped folk. Midnight masked gulls seek psalms in baked haddock beaks. Bleached brow furrowing at licked tobacco seams. Raindrop pearls burst in gold coin puddles. Cashmere-scarved women sip, slice, swallow in crinoline-tiered cafes. Wind-wheeling bikes loaded in cubic configurations of delivery orders. Sun-slivered shiver of velvet pub awnings. Plum-rusted shadows fall on seething evening gulls. My reflection in Washington Street windows. Thank you. Okay, little context for this poem. It's called Greetings from Faber Lake, not a real place. When I was in elementary school, every time it would rain, this giant puddle would form outside one of my teacher's classrooms, and we used to call it Faber Lake and splash in it. So this is me kind of sending a postcard from Faber Lake to my old best friends from elementary school. Greetings from Faber Lake, 2008. The puddle outside Mrs. Faber's class ripples with each stomp of banana yellow and ladybug spotted LL Bean rubber boots. The sloped incline of concrete as it meets cracked cement creates the perfect puddle for us second graders to splash in, gravelly waves of taupe and grime washing over cuff jeans and polka-dotted socks. We thump and kick, plod and pound, our heels meet rain before it hits the ground. Behind us, the swing sets lurch and monkey bars creak, tan bark grinding into the soles of our friends' rhinestone-studded Skechers high tops. The slides swerve and spiral, the seesaw submits to our version of gravity. At recess, we are the self-appointed architects of hysteria, the gymnastic engineers of foursquare and kickball. We cavort and contort, we hopscotch and jump rope until we wear our souls down to sweat and rubber. What falls in Faber Lake is an oil spill of Crayola and crazy art, a kaleidoscopic membrane between us and its murky depths. And when the bell rings, we retire and cease our exploits, at least until lunch. Dear C, how long has it been since I last thought of you? Some days you cloud my skies purple, simmering with thunder, the way an orchid holds rain in its inkblot petals. In the hourglass of my nostalgia, I kneel beneath the sandfall, catching droplets on my tongue. Do you ever flip to the back of the yearbook and skim your fingers over "Have a good summer"? Have the pages gone stale? My gel pens don't write the same anymore. I miss you, A. P.S. Are you still friends with V? I don't think she liked me all that much. Was it jealousy, as bristled as a coyote? Or were we the prickled ones? Did you ever talk about me after I moved away? Or was I simply a relic of second grade? P.P.S. I can't recall the name of that game we used to play, a mutation of tag, a hybrid of hide and seek. What was it called? Oh well, it'll dawn on me in a few years. Let me know if you find out. Dear I, do you remember our forgetting as clearly as our becoming? We could have been sisters, with our black hair twisted from the same root and our brown skin seared by the same sun. Your shadow was my grave, bitterly dug in a competition I never signed up for. The best way to leave a friendship is to set a timer for a few years and let the rain dissolve each lucid secret, each ditzy nickname, each tangerine peel of laughter. When I saw you again, I didn't recognize myself. Take care, A. P.S. Do you still play Club Penguin? Do you ever log on to Pop Tropica? Cool math for kids? My old username and password lies tarnished in verdigris. Is our bond worth the resurrection? P.P.S. I'm gonna reread the Westing game soon. P.P.P.S. I still remember when you spoiled who the killer was for the whole class in 4th grade. Can you believe it's been a decade now? So it goes. Thank you.
Thank you so much. First question, did all poets receive a book? Because I did a very messy job with that. Thank you so much. It was such an honor to have you here tonight, and your work is amazing. It was really, really great, wasn't it? It always is stunning. So we hope you can join us for the open mic. Do you have a lecture in the morning, or do you have it off? Are you off? You're off now. This is like the Lord's Mayor visit. We can just declare days off. So you're off tomorrow. I am okay. Wait, guys. Tonight is super special, right? Because Pam Campbell's here, but Pam's going to do her reading before the open mic. She's come a long way. We have a 10-minute set for her. See you in 10 minutes, and the open mic list is still here if you need it. All right. See you in 10.
Well done. Awesome. Well done. Awesome.
Did you like looking? I did. Okay, good. I was like, I'm with you. Yeah. Good. I'm glad it was like a moment of levity. Good. I was like nerve-wracked, but good. Okay. It's actually the biggest, yeah. That was so fun. Yeah. I know. They were so good. James, you were so good.
So are you. Well
yes,
done.
you did great going first.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw she opened the sheet and I was like, I'm tired. Wow.
I loved your poem.
Oh, thank you very much. Thanks so much. Thanks a lot. I love the poems that was on friendship.
Yes.
I think that's a really great line.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I loved your poem too. I'm glad it won the challenge. It's
I
well
me too.
deserved. Well deserved. Yes. Thank you.
What is this? Do you also get money?
Oh, here it is. Oh, come on, bookmark.
Sorry, that's so cool.
This is so cool.
I have never seen you.
Wow, it was incredible.
I could just see kind of outlines.
It doesn't matter. That's all you do. It doesn't matter. I'm so proud. Same.
I know. Are you guys heading out too? Okay, cool. I'm gonna
so proud of you.
leave,
Like,
I think.
I'm proud of my children.
Huh?
I like my children. I'm proud of you.
Aw.
I saw you like I did. Were you like
Yes.
I was I wanted to be like,
oh my god.
You had the same face you have when you walk into the room.
No, my legs would not stop shaking. I kept doing this, and then I would just.
It's not amazing. If I went up, like you see, like it's amazing. I would love to watch you guys do it.
Oh, you're so sweet. Be yourself. You can say me and Bob, and I would like come in with us if you I will probably follow you out.
It comes, it goes.
That's a very important tool, yeah. It's kind of keeping these in a good place.
Yeah.
Andy, thank you so much. It's fabulous piece that you No, it doesn't have any demands.
I know, yeah. That's why you see women's poetry. We just have so much to draw on. Yeah, but thank you so much. Take care.
Where are you, Mona? I'm not there. Oh yeah. Where I could check. This is it, I'd say. Which one is it? Not too late. Where are you, ladies? Wherever you go, I'm sure I don't care. Not too late. How would that be? Would that be late? 10 to 11 now. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 and 13. Yeah. We couldn't fit in anywhere there. We could fit up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We could fit in. Put in Catherine and then put after that Mona. Well, I put in here. Put in Catherine. I put in Mona first because I hate going after you. You're too dramatic. I put in Mona. And then I put in Adiola and then I put in after Adiola. Who's Adiola? Roman. Is that legible? It is. Right. I brought an old little tiny poem with me. I think. I'm going to tell Michelle. What I did.
because apparently I have to do something.
It's called a nuclear bunker at this point.
No, I'm doing some like when I know like you know I do today
Yeah, Substack. Substack. A lot of positive stuff.
Okay, everybody, welcome back. Did you have a nice second break? Yes. Thanks, Rose. The sad news is some of our creative writing students have left. The good news is their seats are now available to occupy. So please come and cozy up. We are waiting for some people. Where's Pam? Okay. Any elevator music we can play?
Where am I?
Oh, you're here, Adil.
Oh, there we go. Okay, ready.
Okay, guys, so let me just get this. So before open mic tonight, we are delighted to have Pam Campbell join us. She's come all the way from Brooklyn, New York tonight with her daughter Sarah. And yeah, it's just really, really exciting to have her here. Pam's been a friend of O'Vale's and a poet at O'Vale for quite a long time, and especially online over the last few years. I'm trying to locate her. Oh, she's over there. Hi. So, Pam Campbell is a daughter of Alpacchian Mountains. Appalachian. Excuse me. Appalachian Mountains. Born in Alabama and raised in eastern Kentucky and Virginia. She favours the song-like qualities of poetic form and how it serves to contain human suffering and joy. Her poems have appeared in O'Vale's 5-word anthologies, volumes. Oh, I'm so bad at Roman numerals. A few volumes. So it's been a long night, Pam. So in X15, no. So Blue Mondays Poetry Anthology 2021. PMS&G Literary Journal, volumes 25 to 27. The Pedigree Review, Fall 2024, and our Prose PMS&G Literary Journal, volume 24. And into life. Sorry, guys, I'm butchering this altogether. There's a lot here. So she's also the 2024 Tennessee Mountain Riders first place winner in children's literature. Lovely, congratulations. Without further ado, please welcome Pam Campbell in the flesh.
Well, first off, I am breaking things, but I am so full of joy. I can't believe I'm here, and but I started in O'Vale in 2020. And I just want to say that I am a better poet because of all of you, and because of the classes I took from Paul and the Winter Warmer and all the great teachers that was in that. So and when I say things out loud, I do it. That's how I came here this time. So even though O'Vale's not going to be zooming us in, I'm going to have to figure a time to come back and come again. So I'm going to go on in with my reading here. I'm going to start with some pretty heavy stuff and finish with some lighter, hopefully, stuff. And I'm just going to read it. I never talk before my poems anyway, so. All right. Downtown. Oh, this would help. Okay. Wondering why I couldn't see it. Okay. All right. Downtown Danville drugstore. I slide into the sliver of light between wood and glass. The brass bell quivers soft, ring-a-ding-ding. I scurry in the shadow of a woman that could be my mama, but isn't, and avoid irking the ire of the bald-headed drugstore owner who doesn't care for untethered children. I take a hard left and soft shuffle across tiny black and white tiled squares to the magazine rack. The Saturday Evening Post, Look, and Life shields my 4-foot frame from the owner's sight. Look tempts me to open to the Kingston Trios. It was a very good year, but a sign bolds big, don't touch unless buying. Instead, with fear dry mouth, I thieve children sledding down snow-covered hills on the Saturday Evening Post, and ache to be warmed my mama like theirs, chasing cold away with hot chocolate and hugs. Soon to be President Kennedy smiles from the cover of Life. A shadow falls across his face. I jump, sure I'm caught, but the face staring down is colored black, with lines furrowed deep between brown eyes. We are a hand width apart, looking but not touching Life. I breathe out, slow like. Maybe he doesn't have 20 cents to buy Life neither. We study the swell of white people around President Kennedy, their cheeks red in November cold. He pivots from Life to me and he asks, "Do you call us in?" Only he says the whole word. "No, sir," I say, "I call you Negro." Only my words do not erase sorrow scarred in his face and graveled in his voice. Sadness spills over us until the owner, white face, blotched red, yells us into the street. All right, hang in there. I've got a couple more here. All right, what haunts? White middle schooler and black high schooler, a hand width apart on a street corner bus stop, edged by thick-hedged, hiccuped integration. White and black voices drum, fight, fight, fight. We lock stares, a parlay between green and brown eyes. Breathe the other's air, the other's sweat, knowing a touch. With word or body, we will fight, something neither of us wants. Okay, and this is an American sentence, which I know y'all know what that is, so it's quick. Downtown revitalizing, stained secrets whitewashed, cobblestone silent. And then this next one, scattered night, stones the crunched path, pebbles banjo bones, blues out reddened gravel. A little black girl, etched in stone sky, innocence bladed, calls out, "Daddy." Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. What I would say when words come. Oh, I do want to say this to Bobby. I dedicate this one to Mags because Mags loved this one and she was part as we're the Blue Mondays group in its evolution. So she loved the little fawn that saved me. What I would say when words come, you're along a tidal river where I witnessed your birth and named you Whisper. So when I call Whisper, your 4-point antlered head lifts, your liquid brown eyes to my hazel, sacred hold, salt marsh bounded, in its seasonal shift from bright green to gold. It's been 17 months since your red-brown body sack-slipped from womb to coarse sand, your first crown. Summer sun sparkled marsh, your slender legs splayed, spots lay like a blanket on your torso and flanks. You found teat and suckled, held in mama's face. She cleaned and nudged your newborn newness from her to higher ground, you bursting into Spartina grass, cupped ears tucked tight to tiny head. I worried that day when she belly rested in birthing place, eyes closed, exhausted, when you disappeared on a path used by bobcat. Soundless stealth. Yours swelled Spartina grass, mine seeded rogue cells. But that summer that birthed you held me. Surgery and radiation weary, medication dizzy, determined to spot you, I pushed, grew stronger. My body became mine again. And now today, I see the despair of a wound blooming blue-red below your tarsal gland, hind leg twice its normal size. Yet your swollen skin is intact, hope for closed fracture and no infection. I consider calling wildlife, but here you are, breathing easy, calm gazing. You survived the culling harvest. How can I betray you to the rifle? I move when you move, your lips low, ground forage, nibble and crunch, acorns, mushrooms, bark. Thicket dense we walk, you favoring your left leg, me favoring my left side, radiation ravaged, injury raw, rib and chest. Does your wound burn like mine? Whisper. What I would say into the cup of your ear aren't words, but the sound when two humans have no words. The sound woven into the sound of crying, a soft shh, shh, shh. What I would say when words come, look at you, hurting, maybe even more than me. Both of us watching tide ebb, both of us waiting to miracle. Okay, this is my last one. May it go easy. May it go easy for you, Aunt Jackie. 9.5 decades in this membrane of living and dying. And may it go easy for me, cocooned as I am with you in this beginning, ending time. You aren't my cookie baking aunt like Aunt Alta. You are my lioness aunt, pushing your 99-pound frame in front of mine when the late night knocking comes. Knuckles rapping hard against triple bolted door. Too late for anyone to come calling that knows you. I catch the soft, loose skin folds of your upper arm and say, you stay here, I'll go. Your arm bone resists like mighty oak, does not yield. I tuck behind you, dutiful knees, cloaked in your stubborn protection once more. We silent walk with fear-born fierceness to shuttered door. Is it your heartbeat I hear, or mine pounding loud enough for both? Don't open the door, I say. I won't, you say. Lift the blind a little and look. I do. No one is there in dim carport light. Is it death come calling for one or both of us? I watch through what remains of night between back door and your bedroom door. Maymaw's wedding ring quilt lies still over your fetal curled 5-foot frame. I lean close and I hear you shallow breathe. I whisper sing, oh sisters, let's go down, down to the river to pray. Incantation like salt laid at door threshold. Take not my aunt, warrior woman in man world, Southern Bell Company supervisor, woman who stayed the course, not now. Take not me, warrior woman in breast cancer survival, woman who stays the course beyond statistical years. Not now. My birthday gift to you has unfolded from bud to full bloom, red rose petals falling, a pool of blood-letting memories. I remember the story of the night Uncle Chris's murderers came knocking, drunk with whiskey and police protection, taunting Grandma and 16-year-old Sarah, not yet mother to you or Mamaw to me. I remember the night when Daddy Paul didn't come home and the knocking came. Mamaw sat all night between my bed and kitchen door in a quiet that scared me more than the knocking. Dawn comes, brushes light into shadow. I barefoot step on carport concrete into an August morning masquerading as fall. Sun has yet to lift fog blanket from mountain. I hear the best kind of knocking, pileated woodpecker, slow drumming the world steady again. And then a lighter tapping, not bird this time. It is you, came walking into another day. May it go easy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pam. How are you feeling?
I'm just dying on to heaven.
Welcome to heaven. And next on the open mic is
Jeff can't make it.
Oh, Jeff can't make it. Okay, so on the open mic, I'm just going to give you a warning call, right? Tonight's been jam-packed. The open mic's jam-packed. I can't wait to hear all your poems. But we're going to work together to hear all of our poems. So I think we've an average of 2 minutes each. So you know, hold that close to you and remember it when you're on the mic. Okay, so Jeff's gone.
Couldn't make it, yeah.
Sorry, Jeff. Catch you next time, Jeff. We have Andre first up.
Since I got the first 5-word spot, I'll take the first open mic spot. So I actually bringing a poem from a friend of mine, and I'm hoping that by reading it here, it inspires him to continue writing the beautiful poetry that he does, very personal. He actually writes in French, and but my French isn't strong enough to read it in French. But I worked with a translator and with him, so hopefully this will come out okay. So this is a poem by Remy. Bipolarity. Oh, by the way, hopefully he's listening in Sherbrooke, Quebec. Bipolarity is a family friend. She has lived with us for several generations, an exemplary roommate. She did the dishes, swept the floor, made herself small and unnoticeable. Everyone in the family accepted and loved her. On beautiful summer afternoons, she helped my grandfather organize big feasts in the park for his gang of friends. Then at times my grandfather had trouble getting up to go to work. I asked my grandmother, but she didn't have an answer for me. I asked my aunt. She told me that she remembers his gloomy and morose moods. She didn't understand either. When I was young and visited my dad, she got us to explore New York from top to bottom. She made us ecstatic, ambitious, and carried us in her subtle and feverish magic. But then at times, because of her, my dad slept all day, sometimes for several days. I asked him why, but got no answers. I too loved her once. I think she wanted to live with me, yet I wasn't so sure. It was not that simple. Then I looked for bipolarity within me. I didn't find her. I searched hard. Finally, I understood. She was hidden behind my roommate, the one I never looked at, my roommate named Taboo. Taboo organizes herself so that we don't get near her. It's in her nature. She throws her silence in our face and makes our heads spin. No one questions the shitty attitude of my roommate. When I got old enough to create my own haven of peace, my home, I kicked Taboo out. I learned that the only way to be okay with her was to point a finger at her, refuse her silence. It was hard to move forward and heal. With courage, I looked her in the eye, observed her carefully, learned all her features, her quirks, her tics, and then was devastated. Here, I thought she was just my roommate, solely in my family. I realized that she was everywhere, hidden within all families. I hate her now. To talk about taboo is a taboo. I think very hard about that. I'm open to suggestions. Can't wait to kick her out permanently, but at least she's not in my house anymore. Good news, right, Dad? I hope he keeps writing.
Thank you, Andre. Up next is Antonio, and everyone has a seat. There's some more up here if you need it.
Thank you. Room. There's space for this day. A room with a view. Wooden furniture. Only the light can cut perfectly the glass. A window is not enough to see. A balcony will give more room to the thoughts. The actual room is almost full. This room looks perfectly empty. This is a room, a living room, a dining room, a sleeping room. There's no room for the couch. These boxes can be put in that room. A room without space. No room for us. No room for me. No room for you. Diving in the walls to find an alternative room. Between rooms, linked yet closed each other. The paintings and the flowers on the shelves. There's only one room for them in the box. How many rooms would you have? Together in the same room. That room is not ideal. We have no room to put our things. There could be room under the bed. Every room is different. A room for 5, a room to rest. There's still room for that. Imagine a room. Thank you. Thanks.
That's Antonio, thank you. Colin Scully's up next.
I kind of don't like political poetry, but the way things are at the moment, and you feel kind of obliged to write political poetry. So this is a political poem that I wrote, and it's about a certain inauguration that happened a couple of weeks ago there in America. It's called Life on Mars 2, because I had a poem called Life on Mars, which I read here a couple of times, and so this is called Life on Mars 2. And just Phobos and Deimos are the moons of Mars, the 2 moons of Mars. Life on Mars 2. Phobos and Deimos rise together, a once in 1,000-year occurrence. I stand on Valles Marineris, and looked beyond them towards Earth, pale and yellow, playing cat and mouse with its own moon. The last time it happened was 2025. That glorious afternoon, a sweltering -3, when our great saviour was inaugurated in the round room of the old Capitol. That's the day he told us he'd send men to Mars and plant the stars and stripes deep into the soft silica of Olympus Mons. No footage of that day exists. Burned up in the great fires, the inferno of the data centres. Still, he did it, and here we live today in our small colony. He said that God had saved him to save civilization. But where God is, we still don't know. A spaceship sent last year will search deep space. The shriveled earth is tiny to the eye, but through a telescope I see its barren mountains, its dried up ocean floors. They say it once was green with deep blue seas before the transportations on SpaceX ships that brought us here through Century 25. I sit alone and wrap my chill suit tighter in Station Baron Trump, just off the ex-Musk highway. I'm one of 12 left now, the guardians of our tribe, American humans. The rest, perhaps 3 dozen, on that redemptive trip on board the Melania, sorry. I see our own moons, Deimos rising for the second time, Phobos bright and slow. How pretty in the night those old gods are, against the night as black as sin. How lonely suddenly I feel. It makes me realise the good don't always win.
Margaret Cullum. Next up we have Elaine.
This poem is called Sunrise over Farranree. In Farranree there are a few trees. Do people miss them, or is it just me? How can children grow and thrive without nature by their side? I walk into school with my head low, but wait, what is that over the city below? A beautiful sun that is starting to glow. It brings my attention way up high, and there it is, the bright blue sky. I breathe in the sky, it's space so dear. Nature is everywhere, it's always here. So why do we rush inside so quick when there's so much more outside like this? Slow down, that's the trick, else these things we'll miss.
And we're going to jump online to Clive Osman.
Hello. Okay. Once again, looking out for something completely different. This is called Esmeralda. From a long line of oddballs, my Aunt Esmeralda was, by all accounts, the most eccentric of all. Hang on a minute. I forgot my mic was there. Right. I'll start that again because my mic wasn't. Right. From a long line of oddballs, my Aunt Esmeralda was, by all accounts, the most eccentric of all. I never met her, but I think it would have been a fantastic experience. It's rumoured she put Uncle Percy in the tumble dryer when he got home after getting caught in the rain. But even though he was somewhat diminutive, I find this unlikely, if not impossible. The trouble is, getting any sense from anyone in my family is nigh on impossible, because if there was such a thing as the World Bullshitting Championship, the final would have been held in one of their houses every year. I think the more likely explanation for Percy's death was that she was 34 and he was 106, and she just wore him out. But if I say that, I'm accused of happylosity, and I don't know what apilosity means, but by the way they sweat and shake when they say it, I don't think it's a good thing. Esmeralda brought up their twin sons, Bubble and Squeak, the best she could after Percy died. She was very proud of them. My dad said Bubble was great at doing cartwheels, and Squeak broke the world high jump champ record and the school sports day. But then he also said the wheels fell off a bus that failed to stop for him, so a large pinch of salt is possibly necessary. What I do know is that when Bubble and Squeak left home, she sold the house, gave all the money to Save the Curtains, a charity set up to fight the advance of Venetian blinds, and went to live in a beer barrel in Cornwall. She passed away penniless a few months ago, and my kids, bless them, are holding a sponsored Russian roulette to raise funds in order to put a memorial plaque on her beer barrel. They're good kids, a Sage and Onion.
Thank you, Clive. I don't know how sensitive this mic is, but I wish you could hear all the laughs from around the room. You got plenty.
Yeah, I had to, which was great.
Good, good. Next up, Mona Lynch has been inspired again, I think. Have you?
No, I'm still waiting.
Too loud back there. Oh, sure. Yeah. Do you want to do a little test one, two?
We have to go up and down all the time, actually.
Okay.
Hello? Yeah. Hopefully this is something to look forward to. Spring. Music changes from assaulting rain, the click of hail on trees stiff and bare, the susurrando of blanketing snow, to the bleating of lambs as earth bursts into wakefulness, showing off its secret hoard, doled out slowly, bud by bud, under the joyous singing of spring birds. Gangly branches sport soft, leafy promises, announcing they know when to stage their dramatic full dress rehearsal. Heralding croaky morning choruses, anything asleep awakens full of joy. The pond of frog spawn, a maze of black polka dots.
Gorgeous, Mona, thanks. And next up we have Ariola.
Feels like a fever dream being here. Yeah, I keep saying that because I think the last time I was here was pre-pandemic. So it's hybrid stuff that I'm reading. Doing an experiment, I'm gonna drag it, you'll see. The 5-word that was given on this one was cockroach, thread, sip, cascade, strand. By that point, a sip of wine was no longer enjoyable. Everything tasted bland as she found herself unemployable. Each strand of hair, no more care, stringy like polyester thread. How much longer was she supposed to bear isolation and boredom? Stubborn as a cockroach. Well, that's what people called her, resilient. But 6 months of being 90% alone has humbled her, or more like crumbled or rambled her. She stumbles to the couch. A cascade of emotions that have no release whatsoever anymore. See how far she has strayed? Laid there, legs spread wide, feeling inhuman, closer to an alien that does not belong to whatever this mess is. Rolls around her stomach that never existed. Stinking of neglect and loss of self. Roaches is what she rolls. Tokes all day is the new routine. Tokes and sips of bland wine. I hardly have a choice. I need to brace up. Got to keep my shit together. It's a difficult burden, a hard place to be in, but it'll all be worth it one day, I hope, as I try to remind myself the future is better. Hope is the currency I squander like it won't run out, but it's hard to keep shit together when the shit is all purging and pouring out non-stop, like my tears and the fears that keep me up at night or wake me up before the dawn. Sinking, stinking, smearing, swimming in a deep sea of shit. So much shit you can't see past it, can't escape it, can't clear it, can't flush it, can't bag it. No drainage hole, no reliable plumber to call. All the plumbers are busy because there's a shit pandemic. Houses full of shit, people full of shit, media full of shit. I am full of shit. Yet, like sweet corn, I refuse to be broken down, digested. I'm somehow this ray of yellow light, praying I'll be all right. A small speck, waiting and hoping I'll eventually find the exit hole and unblock it with my 2 arms and maybe my feet. And perhaps some might drain, but what I really need is lots of rain, a total washing of healing, loving, compassionate rain, floods of it, to flush it.
Go on, Adiola. Catch Ronan, get up here now.
So I'm going to read. First of all, it's great. Pam, you're here in the flesh. Whoa. Adiola, you're here in the flesh. Whoa. Great. I'm going to dedicate. This was Mag's favorite poem of mine, and she put fantastic music to it. So for Mags, Bridget. Cupped flame of sunbeams and snow, cosmic power of renewal. Oak sap rises to kiss your fingers. Spring tides bathe your feet. You are sketched moon, fractured sun. First flower of spring in a druid's fist. Born between 2 thresholds, you hold the hand of all labours. Our Mary of the Gale, we tie magic ribbons and rags to your holy wish trees, sing songs over ancient rivers. Protector of poets, smiths, healers, we kneel before your mantle of stars. Bridget, carried from Iona to Bethlehem, you inhale the dark, exhale the light. You're gentle now.
Thanks, Catherine. Rosie O'Regan is next. I'm going to step out of my comfort zone. I'm going to try to sing a song for Mags. It's, something I loved about Mags is she would always get up here and sing songs, and she was kind of composing them as she went, which I always thought was like insanely brave. So I'm going to be a little bit brave. Not lost, but gone before. Here no more, here no more. Each day the long light dims and fades, not lost, but gone before. Creation sings, mountains spring, ages born through memory and lore. On a saw, tall timbers fall. Here no more, here no more. The light shines close, echoes low of your sweet voice. I weep and mourn. Upon a saw, tall timbers fall. Here no more, here no more.
not lost but gone before. Here no more, here no more.
Thanks, Rosie. John Tynan, please.
Thank you. Winter caprice. My eyes birth joy. First lambs of the new year. But then, see, one is dead, soft and splayed and speared by sable stubble. A mortal might, bathed harsh in winter sun and woolly drenched on surface mire. But then, see, one is still lived and licked and loved with Yuli suckle. A blessed babe, succored sweet in frigid field and pledged for butcher's sacrifice. So serene is the sepulchre and the sanguine amid caprice of nature.
Thank you, Jen. Next up, Cedric Bacon.
So this one was written while having this very long midlife crisis going on since I'm past 30, and this forced me to contemplate quite a few fights that had basically been putting off throughout life, and you reach that point where you cannot escape anymore. You have to just look at it, stare it in the eyes, and get to it. So this one is about anger management and anger issues. It's called Raging Bull. You are so angry that everything goes white. There is a taste in your mouth when you are there. The blood has rushed to your head. You can feel your heart pumping it. Words are just blurred sounds, and though you are not bleeding, everything tastes of iron. More red and glow as fury takes hold, becomes a guide, yellow. Sparks are ready to fly, with the next beat stronger with every added prejudice. Your horns need quenching. Blood will do if the waters under the bridges have gone dry. Let me beat your heat. Put out your fires with kindness. I want to be the flowery meadow to these raging bulls. See the reds and the whites and the yellows. Trample all you need. Roar, scream. I am the earth. I am blush. I am the green. You will be back to yourself, back to me. Your turmoil cannot follow you. This bug will steal your eyes. With every thump, every stomp, the overfed beast is reclaimed. This death of you drained until you can only cry. Bring me your reins. Rest your head. Feed my soul. Let your rage be gone.
Brilliant subject. Benjamin Burns is next.
I'd just like to say about Megs that she was always so kind and warm and brilliant, with a twinkle in her eye and consistently surprising on the open mic and in the 5-word challenge, and like brilliant with words, and I really, yeah, I love knowing Mags, and yeah, I just like to say that first. I've been writing haiku. I tried this 100 haiku challenge, 100-day haiku challenge, and I've consistently missed days and stuff. But I'm keeping going anyway, and I've maybe written 23 haikus in like 35 days or something. But you know, it's better than, you know, I missed the odd one, but I read the first 7 the last time, so I won't read them. I won't read the next 23 minus 7. Look, I won't do 16, but I'll do some of them. Yeah, maybe I'll do all of them. The windscreen wipers clear the windscreen of droplets. I stole the engine. Backlit by streetlight, the curtains glow, perhaps too beyond that song thrush. This next one's from the point of view of the song thrush, kind of considering like how, I mean, they usually would sing with the sun, but because they're a city song thrush, they sing with the streetlights. Lots of little suns are up in branchless trees. Up on my branch, I'm here. A herring gull glides across the waning moon. Flocks of people fly past. Nastya flips back her scarf. It lands on her face. It muffles her laughter. He was coked out of it, he says, then spits beneath a rose-pink sunset. A rook lands on a security camera, surveying the street. What exterior? The gorse flowers? The fragments of branches? My skin? Two crisp packets catch the wind. And look, a plastic champagne flute tumbling. A pied wagtail flits across the parked Toyota Aygo. Oh, sorry, I read that wrong. A pied wagtail flits expertly across a parked Toyota Aygo. I think I should do that from now on when I read that. I'll keep making that mistake. The phone watch alarms, red light blinks. From side to side, I pace with cold feet. The place where you were is now empty of you, but it is full of air. Pint in one hand, phone in the other, she curses at her crying child. Above the evening star, a jet casts a contrail through the crescent moon. The place where rolling tires meet tarmac. The out there which in here is in. And this is today's one. Clouds conceal the sky's blue behind plywood hoarding where sparrows cheep cheep.
Thanks, Ben. That was great. You got some good feedback there as well, live feedback from the crowd. That was brilliant. Your last haiku led beautifully into Sue Blue's performance.
So I think I'm going to do a poem that some of you might recognize. In this case, I'm going to do it for Max. Death of a loved one. We've come together in sadness. Sorrow envelops our souls, heavy like clouds are our hearts as we share the pain of your loss. You're missing within our circle, released now, torn from ailment, released now from ailment and pain, to the realm of light above. We cry and recall your love. You've been so creative and wise, shared music, great art and healing. Your poems so very appealing. We'll remember your spirit, your voice. So still, your body is empty, your tender touch is gone. Your eyes have closed forever, your breathing is all done. We're shaken with grief as we stand in mourning and disbelief. And even though hard to face, you're leaving this vast empty space. The gap is sore like a wound. The void you leave just echoes with silence, earning and cold, and we hug each other for hold. We know your nature's been caring. We know that your soul is now free. And as we lament your passing, we know you will be okay. You were taken away by the angels. A feather was left on the sill to rejoin the ocean of love. You'll be back of the crows, if you will. And although your woe is cutting, and although our woe is cutting like a double-sided knife, we know that your wish for your people is to exalt and rejoice in life. So we remember your poems, your music that fills us with smiles while holding on to each other and sharing the love you inspired.
Thanks for that, Sue. We miss you, Mags. Her spirit is here. We remember that. I've forgotten who's next. We're online on Poetry TV with Paul Dunnigan.
Hi. This poem is called Pulleen Harbour, After the Storm. Getting out of the car, the harbour looks the same gash in the landscape as ever. The solid modern pier to my right is empty of its boats, moored away for winter. I take the path left down towards the beach, and there's the faded blue boat that always sits high up in the bracken and won't ever return to sea. Almost reaching it are mounds of oil-black seaweed, the storm's wind and waves flung on the rough grass, high above the tide line, with rope, plastic bottles, bits of net knotted through. I look in vain for the dead black and white seabird that floated in last summer to its last haven. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Paul. Next up, we have Conor McGowan.
You. I only started writing there a couple of weeks ago, and the first thing, oh thanks. First thing I heard about Ovale was that it was actually closing down, so I'm very happy to hear now that it's staying on, so I came at the right time. So this poem now is about a lot of conversations that a lot of Irish families have, I think, just take away a different, or put in a different tragedy instead. It's called Chinese Whispers. The audience mutters to their left. The blame is passed around the crowd. The parents, it's awful for them. Would they not hide the key, share the same breath? My parents are talking about an 11-year-old's death by falling from a balcony while I'm eating. It makes me feel sick. Questions quickly rise and projectile out my mouth. Did they sleepwalk, peer over for a view? Never say the third thought out loud. Sure, it's too sad to think about. This girl's life summarized in a few short sentences. Tonight's entertainment, in lieu of a screen, we present Chinese Whispers. We agree and condemn their actions from the comfort of a kitchen where no 65-foot drop threatens us. I think of the flight home, one less window seat filled with chicken in my mouth.
Thank you so much, Connor. Next up we have Roxanne. Are you okay?
Sorry. I think the emotion of the night is getting up. I'll be fine. So, thank you. I actually have a happy announcement. 2 weeks ago, I celebrated 5 years in Ireland, which I didn't expect, and I think I'm getting close to 3 years in Ovale. And the last one that I absolutely didn't expect is that I downloaded Duolingo 3 days ago, and I'm on 3 days of learning Irish. So I think 25 is a year of changes, and hopefully for the best. And one big surprise is that I actually got inspired in French tonight. So, and if I think it's a project that's going to be keeping going, and if it's actually leads to something, I know it will be upon here tonight. So. Sorry if my voice cracks. Je prends le pari, encore une fois. Atout en main, un autre en poche, un dans la manche. À quel moment découvrira-t-on la tricherie? Le jeu se déroule dans les yeux de l'autre. Un sourire, un clin d'œil. Qui se détournera en premier? D'un bout à l'autre de la table, à chaque extrémité, et au milieu, des vapeurs de stress, de transpiration. Silence, respirer doucement, ne rien trahir. Roi de pique, dame de cœur, valet de carreau, as de trèfle. Qui gagne la partie? D'un coin de regard, je scrute le meneur de jeu. Digne, calme, droit face à nous. Lui ne tremble pas, il sait. Ce que nous découvrirons peu à peu. Le gong sonne, première manche.
Thank you, Roxanne. Always lovely to hear your native tongue. Lovely. And next up we have Patricia Walsh, please.
Thank you. And this is called Remembering a Slow Bullet. My recommended fluency is the perfect path. The pragmatic marriage suits the predicate. This time is of the essence in a foreign land. A multi-instrumental calling a holistic hello. I haven't enough information to unhorse you. Seated upstairs, away from distant satisfaction. The anonymous literature likewise disappoints. your side sweets killing what's left of the unwary. But disappear for grub in a likely takeout. An academic stasis, a prerequisite for living. I long for the printed page to absolve all else. The timely massacre drunk on payment. Being his usual gruff self, uncommunicative like Flint. Cooking the virtuous meal, good like that. Your day is fantastic at a moment's prodding. He falls in the opposite apology under duress. You are heard through doorways a given gripe. Alcoholic tirades still in the bedrooms. Covert, wishing for sleep, not filled villains for now. I ask for trouble if I wish to speak up, abridged. I cling on to sanity, milling through the evening. Former leg satisfaction wipes the table clean. Hoover the living area, squeezing through hygiene. Nose was kept clean for want of a better application. Thanks.
Thank you, Patricia. Next up, where is he? Philip Spillane, what have you got for us? Here.
Just want to say quickly, I listened to Max Creedon's album as soon as I heard the news, and it's very beautiful how different someone's artwork changes when they pass on, to say it bluntly, excuse me. But her album, it says beautiful words, beautiful melodies. I love the way that she just grew so much with playing the guitar, and she was a pleasure, a friend to know. And I think she's actually one of the first friends I've made here at Ovale. One of the first people I got to know. And thank you for that. So this was based off one of the 5-word challenge words that were released every month. And it's based off a piece of mythology I wrote called Yaxel, the King of Rivers, but I've kind of changed it a little bit. Do giants eat rivers, oh we? On a chippy January, from my hilltop, I saw the apparition, amble slothily along the heavens, drifting against backdrop of clouds, a lone shadow without a master. As it steepled over Cork City, it reached down and stole the River Lee. It pulled it up like a great eel, peeling it from Inniscarra and Carrigahan. With the sun piercing through the ribbon of water, it shimmered similar to stainless steel. You could see 44 bridges glisten against the river like belt buckles, and a rowing boat centipede up against gravity. Swans haloed around the giant's bulk. They looked like albino flies. Hoisting the river over its shoulder, the giant gently escaped, a fine catch for a robber of rivers. The next day I descended from Temple Hill to witness the damage. The great Fisher crack was left along the Lee fields, and the only bridge that was left was the shaky bridge. It was shell-shocked, stock still. I remember when it shifted in the breeze. As I crossed, I saw a naked riverbed, a colourful patchwork of human waste, exposed. It was magnificent. It makes me ponder, do giants eat rivers, or we? The honest result were those artificial trees installed in 2021, the ones I'm talking about. Those pillaring hives on Patrick Street and the Grand Parade, they are bleeding green with life, full of fungi, like a city council scheme gone right. A wild, ironic homage to the banks of the River Lee gone.
Thanks, Philip. Hey, who's that laughing down the back there now? Our last trip online for the night, Massimo.
Hey, so Nikki Giovanni is a poet who just passed away recently. And a famous quote of hers is, "Music and poetry are very good friends. Like mommies and daddies and strawberries and cream, they go together." And that made me think of Mags. So I found an extremely short poem and I thought I'd dip some live music into it. So it's real short. Oh, and I can't play instruments. I just appreciate Mags very much. I heard people tell me that it's sad to say. Happiness may last a day, but it too shall pass away. But either way, I show you love as you pass this way. 'Cause even if we have to go, this love has to stay. Peace. Thank you.
Thank you, Massimo. Thank you so much. Mags has given us a lot of courage tonight, isn't she? We have 2 readers left. And believe it or not, Ciarán McCartan is not the last one. This is the second last one. And we will look forward to Cahill after Ciarán. Alright. Double trouble. There we go.
Nice one. Yeah, it's been really, really special to hear so many beautiful tributes paid to Mags tonight. And yeah, she's one of the nicest people I've ever had the pleasure of knowing. Such a kind soul and so warm and so creative and so full of optimism and life and creativity, and yeah, a real pleasure to have to know. And thank you very much, Bobby, for your words earlier. I thought they were absolutely beautiful, and it was an honour to be there at the services, at the removal and at the funeral, and really thought the whole thing was really so beautifully handled by the family and by everybody who knew her. And I think your words tonight were absolutely outstanding, and it's a credit to you all and a credit to Mags. I remember one time I broke the middle metatarsal of my right foot playing football. 3 minutes into the game, right? Got a pass from the centre midfielder, went to kick it, ball up the line. The winger came in with his studs, broke the middle metatarsal of my right foot. And after I was recovering from that injury, I was talking to Mags about it, and what I did it was at O'Vale, and she called over to my gaff during the week afterwards because she's a physio, you know, and she called over with like stretches to do. This was after I kind of recovered from the injury a bit, and she just gave her whole afternoon to like rehabilitating my foot so I could go back playing football, because she knows how much I like to go play football. And that was the kind of person she was, you know, and she was an absolute gem, and she had a lot to go through and a lot to handle in her life, and she really did it in a very, very beautiful way, an honourable way. So, love you, Max. I'll read you this poem now if I can find it. But, oh yeah, here we go. So there a couple of years ago, my pal Sean he developed this space called the shed from like an actual shed into a place that he eventually lived in, and then very dramatically and very traumatically, it burnt down a couple of years ago, and so this is for Sean and the shed, and it's called "Everyone Needs Space." Everyone needs space, and this, the one that did for us, warrants great gratitude. The incubator of our young lives, since you first turned your gaze towards it in the spirit of enterprise. Us looking at currachs at eye level, barely the strength in our arms to move a boat or give a hand towards the shifting of a shape. And I look at the shape of your young hands and see the dust falling from a rough edge made smooth. Hear the clang of a hammer bringing a common nail to split ends, unifying isolated timbers. I see your hands run cable to power speakers to give voice to Nate Dogg, Ludacris, Avicii. Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling. Shawnee says there's something to be shown. Seems as though the space has grown as it shrinks in proportion to the more of us filling it. The wider smile meeting the new work, the longer arms pointing to animate the evolution, the analysis of potential. Nights seen through, from a child's preparation, teenage inclination to adult limbs spread across soft cloths and sheepskins. The seats of a deceased van holding Hugh as he attempts to prise loose the smooth timber block, tempting the stability of Jenga, giving while taking. Maddie on the hip-hop snuff box and cap shots, cans of Prasky and dancing daftly. Everyone needs space and you've lit yours well, custom made by the artist, under patent of the contemporary dartists. Rope lights and airsoft bricks, foresight and clever tricks, a bell jar lined with an image of the Golden Gate Bridge, Natural Geographic, bulb rigged and a switch flicked. Easy on the eye comes refuge while running from the thick of it, swearing to God through blood spit. The cast aside have cast themselves upon you in a furied fit, fractured bones for a scratched itch, broken glass and taken statement space for patient recuperation down at the base of operations. Wash your face there in that basin and just think, when it becomes a sink, we'll never be short a drop to drink. And Kierjo, I've been thinking, why stop at a kitchen? Phil can get us one of those big tanks and Rab can bend the copper. And as we go by no half measures, a hot tub would be whopper. Everyone needs space, and you've made yours to share, to facilitate who might be there, spare glasses and extra chairs, a space birthed in to entertain, ended in company, took no one with it, a space reborn to house, began empty, has you and yours to fill it. Nilain hinton mer de hinton fein be mider ashton said lekela. The last time I was in there I had to dip to enter, and now I stand here and remember at full height. You have shared your safe chamber, it has shaped us like a seed husk. Now we turn to face the future from the phoenix. Tommy der Ashton said lekela ag kaint agus ag goira frac ella conna raw och mila buegas.
Nice one, Karen. Before a call comes up, I just want to check, did anybody else want to join the open mic or say a few words that were missed? No. Okay, Carl Holden.
Lads, I fully, firmly believe there is a long valley in the next world. And Mags and Mary and Joe and Owen and the rest of the crew are up there with Sappho and Amergin and Bridget and Heaney, writing limericks about each other, and one day I'll be up there too, writing limericks about all of you. All of you, and they'll be filthy as well. Awful limericks. I don't have any limericks today though. What I would like to do, Ovale is like, this incarnation of Ovale is winding down, and I wanted to do what I think is the first poem that I ever said in Ovale. I have on the top of this October 2011, which is around when I started coming. I think I was like 2 months into 20. And Pam, so good to see you. So lovely to see you. And the first time I heard poem shattered my heart in little pieces, and the second time I heard it, those pieces shattered again. Thank you. So this is the first poem I performed at Ovale, I think. It's like 50-50. There were two. I had 2 poems. It's a 50% chance. Let us look to fallen fruit, cut the core to find the truth, to find the pips, to plant the seeds, to spread the roots, to grow the trees, that mark the boundaries of our boundlessness, set rosaries of restlessness, and litanies of listlessness, built embassies of emptiness, where all the keys we found were blessed, and opened gates to wilderness, where we searched for why, to where, from whence, looked under seas and influence. From centre out to circumference, on mountain tops we pitched our tents. We crept through clefts and climbed to crests, where bumblebees had feathered nests of warp and weave and woof and weft, of time and space and length and breadth. We swore solemn oaths to never part, with such a path as held such art, as columns sprung from nature's heart, as lightning's lungs spit Zeus's darts. We tracked chariots across the sky, and when all was done, lay down to die. We greeted death from western haze, and we did life from eastern blaze. The lessons learned we can't express. Each moment, magic, made, and blessed. Thank you.
Thank you, Carl. Last chance if anyone wants to share anything. No. No. No, I wasn't finding myself there now. I've done enough tonight now, Philip. I'll be back next month. Thank you, though. Thank you. Yeah, thanks so much, guys. You're the hard crew. You've held it out all night. Here we are. We're going to get a drink together and celebrate. Thanks so much for everyone who joined the 5-word challenge, for Roisin Leggett Bowen who won, for all of our creative writing students. If they were still here, I would read out all their names, but look, all of our creative writing students. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, na 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 na. Do. Okay, especially John O'Boyle and Leah Socha. But as well as that, we had James Carroll, Lucy Pera, Jessica Anna Rose, Andy McNamara, and Angelia De Souza. They were fantastic, weren't they? It was always a special night. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, everyone who shared on the open mic, I'm sure there'll be tributes from Mag, happening for the next few months. And I did want to mention that with the new Ovale entity, or what? That's a strange way to put it, isn't it? But we would like to create an event to give that more space and to allow for more tributes to Maz, and maybe have a little exhibition of her work in the room. Would be nice, wouldn't it? Cover all the maps. So I think that'd be fantastic, and there'll be a few months down the line. So if there's a lot to take in tonight and to put into words, then take your time. And Pam Campbell. Pam Campbell. Somehow we found each other, Ovale and Pam, and here we are. We hope to see you back again. Yeah. And thanks,
your daughter Sarah for joining you as well. Pardon? And Adiola has come from England as well. Excuse me, Adiola. Yeah, it's been phenomenal. Thanks again to Long Valley and for everyone. Just great night. Talk to you soon. We're going to Crane Lane. We're going to Crane Lane.
Happy birthday, Michelle!